Gaming here as we have the Links of Us Randomizer League Season 6 in our Week 2 casual boots here. We have on the left Shady Force representing Team The Spoilers, currently 2-0 in the league. And on the right we have Team Bolas Azules represented by Cade Rukawa. How's it going, folks? I am Wolfling0370, and joining me on the mic tonight is Lana Bean. How's it going?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic here. And of course, we've got ourselves Week 2, which is, of course, casual boots. And you can see why on our opening feeds here.
Absolutely. Casual boots, pretty simple mode. It's a pretty casual start. You start by doing the full entire escape sequence. You get a sword, you start with boots, and we'll see what else we can get along the escape sequence. Otherwise, we need to rescue Zelda, escape the entire thing, and pretty much start off a regular open almost after that.
That's right. And of course, an interesting quirk about starting with a sword here is that until we talk to Uncle, our sword is actually not enabled, so we'll have to pick up the bush normally. It's a very minor detail, but it is still noticeable from time to time.
I think they made it so you can dash through the bushes, I think. It's pretty weird. We'll see. These runners are good. We'll see. But we got Drosy clicking all the buttons. Thank you so much, Drosy, for handling all the tracking for us.
I'm starting with 10 arrows here as we get started here. Thankfully, one of the most problematic issues with the standard opening is that there are 3 items locked behind a bomb wall near the very end of the escape sequence. Thankfully, that wall can be dashed into with the boots, so it won't be as big an issue. We got a quick map check there, and I see 2 crystals and a pendant. Green pendant, desert, 5-6 in Easter.
That's what I saw too. Good eyes.
Alright, swords online, so combat can begin.
$1? Wow. Thanks, game. Good start.
Yep. Every little bit of money helps. It puts it closer to Bottle Merchant.
That's true. The fewer trips you have to make to Kakariko, the better. I think a play I like to do is if you get any bombs in escape, go ahead and save and quit after sync and head south towards the south shore. Hope to get a bottle, a flute, something good to help you in the town without having to go back.
And there is the small key here. There is one other addition we should probably mention here regarding the standard escape sequence, since that is the Cone of Light. We are not potentially going to find a lantern here, but in order to make it so that the seed is accessible for newer players, we give you guys the Cone of Light for free when we go to the dark rooms here coming up in the back half of the escape sequence.
That's correct. Both runners are using a Castlevania MSU, just different ones.
Yes, I believe our other runner is using Symphony of the Night music. And this one is an arrangement, I believe, from Super Smash Brothers. Could be wrong about that one though. I don't remember.
Ooh, not Drosy, I'm thinking about Drosy, looking at his name. Shady Force getting a little bit unfortunate luck with the guard placement there. Dinged a couple of times on the ball and chain and kind of got pushed back and took extra damage, but Shady Force made it through just fine.
Alright, so now we're carrying Princess Zelda. We will be escorting her to the Sanctuary, and then the sea will open up for real. So far, not much to speak of in the escape sequence. We haven't even found any bombs, which would be nice to have.
No bombs, no real money. It's, yeah, pretty dull escape. We still have 4 more checks. We already have our small key. I think, did we get our map already? Did we?
No, we have not gotten the map yet.
So there are 4 checks left, 3 items. So there's still a chance for escape to give us something.
I thought it was 5 checks.
We have Dark Cross and 3 more in the back. Oh, and actual Sank, you're right.
Yeah, it's easy not to think of that's part of the Hyrule Castle area, but it is. I don't blame anyone for making that mistake.
Yes, that
And
is
reaching the altar in about 3 minutes, nearly 4. Pretty good times.
not bad at all. And to answer your question in chat, yes, Wolflink just kind of mention it, but you do not need a bomb to get through the bomb wall in the back because these are real boots, they're not pseudo boots, so you can bonk this wall.
That is true. However, they would like the bombs potentially if they want to go to Kakariko right away so that they can do some other checks like full clear the well or...
Nice boots!
Well, that's a chunk fill in these settings, but good to know where they were.
So if we didn't start with boots, those would have been boots. Alright, thanks, game.
But yeah, getting back to what I was saying is, while they do not need the bombs for the escape sequence, they would like them for Kakariko, just for more convenient routing.
Very true. But thankfully there is a rock just north of Kakariko they can bonk into for free bombs if they need to.
Ooh, Gold Bee. That could be sold for some money.
That's $100, so you got your bottle vendor money right there.
Yeah, and on top of that, doing some extra checks in Kakariko will let you buy bombs even. Because I believe there are a few guaranteed 5 rupees underneath some pots in, I believe, the well.
There are.
That was an interesting grab. I've never seen it bonk and then grab. And there's 20 bucks right there, so we got money for bombs.
Okay, south we go. Now it looks like Shady has a little bit of a lead from KD coming out of this gate, but I believe Shady Force did the map check early.
I believe Kate did, yes.
Did they? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Katie did the map check, so a few seconds won on that.
Right, now if you guys are coming in here and watched our first week, today our week is the quote-unquote standard goal, which is just to collect the 7 crystals, go up Ganon's Tower, and then open up the pyramid. We do not need the Dependence or Agate Tower today. But we might. And that's because there might be an important item here, for one.
Yes, sir. Big 20 on bush craps.
Oh,
that's not good. Oh, this could be an Agassiz, everybody.
So for those who missed that, that is the flippers there on Lumberjack, and there's one pin that's already in the light world, so it's a decent odds the flippers are going to be logically required, but it could also be a swamp and Ice Palace pendant, which means the flippers would not be required.
Theoretically, unless it's a pet seed. Chat hates pet seeds.
And they're just getting a ton of money here.
Look how close these two runners are right after escape.
Yeah, synced up right now after both people doing their map checks. Okay, gonna take a moment to check the pull tree. Only hearts. Not a great one to have.
Okay, is Shady gonna go ahead and get this bomb? Yes, he is.
It makes sense. That allows for some more convenient routing to this place. And you might find some bombs in one of those locations.
Yeah, just getting one bomb is usually pretty safe, but the game doesn't always give you bombs right here.
Yeah, there's only 10 packs of bombs in the entire game, so fairly low odds, but it can still happen.
Yeah.
Although that's really nice to have too. I love their flute.
That's a nice little flute. That'll give routing opportunities for pretty much both runners. They're going to be able to clear out South Shore and even check Saha if they went really quick. Nice. Love the bug net.
That's actually kind of funny.
The
bottle merchant gave us the means to get even more money from him by filling the bottle and selling him more bees.
Yeah. I love it whenever you talk with Bottle Vendor and he gives you a good beef, so you just release it and you get your 100 back.
And Bowfront is going to be, in fact, buying bombs here and then heading back up north.
Yeah, both avoiding the well until they get this done. In fact, I don't think either of them activated Flute yet either.
Now, it makes sense to do it on the way back north and then Flute away. This does mean that they potentially don't check a race game right away, but it's a minor notion. Fourth heart for both runners. Interestingly enough, I just noticed they both chose the same heart color.
Oh,
Granted, there are only 4 options there, but it's still kind of interesting. And there we go. Both runners now getting the flute online.
Dual flute activation.
And both runners going to be checking the well. Alright. Was the bomb purchases worth it? Not immediately.
Pretty empty Kakariko so far. I mean, it's...
You love to see bombs after buying bombs sometimes.
Oh, game with the funnies.
But yeah, Baron Kakariko, that's not common.
And the game gave you no reason to go south either. You had very little money to buy bombs. So the game gave you no reason to save and quit and start south.
I think the last chance here is the race game, which we're getting a scout right now. Nothing.
There's a prediction up in chat for the Swamp Palace prediction, everybody. What are we today? Use those channel points, Crystal or Pendant.
You have a 2 to 7 chance of getting it correct if you think it's a pendant. Ice Palace also will require the flippers technically, but we can sequence break out of that one.
Yeah, not too worried about that. It's a big sigh of relief, and yet...
Oh, there's the hammer.
Something.
Actually, now that I think about it... Oh, no, you need to swim across the first entrance. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Swamp's hard required with flippers.
Yeah, I was thinking with a new Harapod like that, we could skip that, but no, we have to get to the first room still.
Yeah, there's no real easy way to get across, or possible way at this point. You never know, a glitch could be discovered. And frankly, in HMG, you're like, whatever, it's fine, but not in a non-glitch seed.
Mirror. 10 bomb pack.
Oh, Mirror and Hammer, that's a Death Mountain.
There's all our bombs!
Right. Death Mountain, little invite there.
Yeah, that mirror now puts Hera into logic.
And with the hammer, that's East Death Mountain. Looks like... Ooh, Katie's going right up the mountain. So is Shady.
Yep, following the progression here. Makes sense.
And if this mountain play continues, we may get our answer to Swamp Palace sooner than we thought.
Yeah, and knowing that is going to make things a little bit more prevalent. Now, the other question is Aghanim required sooner rather than later if Swamp Palace is in fact a crystal? Because we could get normal Dark World access, and then we could just put up doing Aghanim to the last dungeon. Unless there's other items in Swamp.
Always a possibility. Oh, the cabbages are evil as always.
Yeah, they do a whole heart of damage here. Shady forces to be a little careful. And simultaneous stashing here. And And using the bomb to great effect. Piece of heart there on top of Spectre Rock. Inside, we have a full container. We'll see if anyone wants to go for that. I doubt it.
Okay, we got our map check here. Swamp, what are you? It is a pendant. Okay, pendant TR, pendant mire, or pendant swamp, I should say. Red crystal at Thieves Town. Everything else is a crystal.
All right. Now, logically speaking, this is an Aghanim Seed because Ice Palace is a crystal. However, we can fake flipper into Ice Palace, so our runners will be doing that. Aghanim will be skipped.
For now.
For now.
Unless something is hanging out in Swamp Palace, like you said.
That's true. There are 6 items in Swamp Palace.
Things that like to show up in Swamp Palace. Swords. Samaria. Hookshot. And technically, Hookshot may not even be required to seed if these runners can hover. Or Moldorm Dance. As pointed out by Drossi, we are locked out of tower here. No big key without the basement. No. Was that Samaria?
That was Hookshot.
Oh, okay. Alright, thanks, game.
So, Samaria's Titan's locked. Or, not Samaria, sorry. Hookshot's Titan's mid's locked.
And as we were saying, Drossi was pointing out that we need a fire source to get to Hero Basement, or that Hookshot that's just hanging out up there to beat the dungeon. Yeah, won't turn a meal up right down.
Yep, armor upgrade's always nice.
Sometimes
although,
sorry, Ben.
I want to say this. What's the difference of the Cliffy Spray for the color for the model?
That I don't know. I'd have to try it.
Well, there's one of our bows.
Oh, hi, Bo. Now we have a beatable Pod Eastern.
Some say the eyes. I guess it has to be the eyes, but that's still really hard to tell when you're not looking at it right away.
And I guess it's not beatable because we don't have access to Pod yet. Oh, never mind. We do. There it is. Hi, Glev. How you doing?
And the single arrow.
All right, well, we got a glove, so probably fluting over to 5. Oh, right. Never mind. Yeah, as pointed out from chat, we still don't have a pearl.
Yeah. There probably is still a flute to 5, though, to do the Eastern Palace checks.
So I was right.
Yeah, it's just not for Dark World access.
Details, schmeetails.
That glove also does one other thing, and that does put the Zora region in logic, which, without the flippers, or with the flippers being where they are, that could be where our second glove is.
We don't mind that too much. Neither of the runners have checked Ice Red Cave. You can set up your water walk, and with the bush grabs being big 20s, if you don't get much out of Eastern, there's still money farm options pretty readily available.
Yeah, there's also, of course, a rupee room in the back right of the dark room here in Eastern Palace, which can give you a little bit of extra money, but not a lot.
I think it's 90 if I remember right.
Something around there, yeah. I think it's like several rows of 5s, so.
Eastern Palace giving us dungeon items so far, thanks game. So if I'm not mistaken, we have a big key and 3 items left.
Yeah, big key and 3 items. That means there's something here logically lamp locked, but our runners are very at the dark rooms here.
We don't care about that though.
Indeed. Oh, at least the big key is there.
But the item placement means you still have to go to Dark Cross, or not Dark Cross, pardon me, through the big key chest. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we still have to go to the vanilla big key chest, but At least the big key was in a place where we can sort of streamline these checks and just do a lap. We just didn't rush through the big chest room.
And this is a good point as well from Drosy, saying if we do find a fire rod out there readily available, then Armos Knights could be in logic, though big key chest not in logic without the lamp. Just enjoying this music. I don't know about you, Wolflink. Looks like Katie, we're probably going to go ahead and drop in, get some fairies. Not a bad choice, little low on health, and that room can go badly in a hurry.
Alright, we're entering the Armos Knight fight here. Let's see if we can get a nice, quick one cycle here. Or a quick kill, rather.
Yes, Katie Rokaba gets through the dark room as well. On the way to Armos Knights.
Looking good here for Shady Force. Nicely done. It's a second sword. That could be good and bad.
Yeah. Because if you get that fire rod out there, like Drosy said, that puts them in logic. And that would put Aga in logic. And that would put possibly Moon Pearl on Pyramid as an option. Still slim at this point, but an option.
I mean, our lane could just be in Saha's closet for all we know.
That's true. There are 3 readily available items here. And we still haven't seen Nagina, Ice Rod Cave, or like you said, Sora.
And what do we got? 50 rupees, Fire Rod, Moon Pearl.
Okay, we're good. Aga's dead.
It is most decidedly not dead.
So
it is still very much a big unknown until we know the contents of Swamp Palace. It has nothing we need.
That is true. Alright, I'm just kind of being hopeful for the runners here. But the good news is it puts Aga immediately off the table for now at least.
That much is true. We can avoid Aghanim, ideally for the rest of the seed, but there's still a very strong chance he's needed, because there are still 6 items locked behind Swamp Palace.
$21, 10 arrows, and Quake. Thanks, Hype Cave. We may need Quake, I guess.
We may. We still have Meyer as a crystal, so it could be a requiring Quake. We could also require Ether or Bombos.
Alright, looks like Katie Rukawa is going to go ahead and start their run into Dark World through the village. And we're going north to stop by Skull Woods. We got a Stumpy check coming up from Shady.
Yeah, this will be a hard piece. Now, as a reminder, folks, just so we're clear here, we do play on glitchless logic. So, by that, Fake Clippers is not considered. So, Aghanim is still technically required this seed. So, that can throw a wrench in the logic here. But we'll have to wait and see if that can be avoided or not by our runner's skills with tricks. 300 rubies there in case Alpha Grove.
That's not a bad find. It's less for you to have to worry about farming. Now, farming, now can do what, big game, open up pot. There's pretty much you're good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Skullwood's back as well.
Big game, meanwhile. pretty fair, I'd say. 15 digs for that. Magic Kate, meanwhile, for Cade. Good spot for it.
Yeah, not a bad find. You can get a bad fight with Moth. You haven't checked bumper top. It's a good find. So Shady Forest not finding anything particularly useful south. Just got a little bit of money, and that's about it. And a Quake, but being Hype Cave, KD was not going to skip that long.
Yeah, the only thing we can say for certain about Swamp Palace is the Titans can't be in the back half of the dungeon. Let's get the B key off the Moth. Nice, good kill there from Cade.
But if we find the lamp anywhere, suddenly the front half of Swamp could have our mitts.
Yeah, the front... Yeah, nothing's stopping the mitts from being in Swamp. But it can't be behind the hookshot, which is locked behind the Titans mitts.
That is true.
Alright, it's the East Town play here for Shady Force.
I do like the way Katie Rickaw was routing this because you've got your Skullwoods beaten 5-6.
Ice Rod.
Oh, you do not want to find that. And you can beat Thieves down 5-6, so first trip down south, Hype Cave, etc. You can get your big bone too. And then you just run over to Pod. You take care of that right away. I do like this routing from Katie.
Yeah, taking full advantage of the mirror here. So far, nothing in the front half of Thieves Town here. This has to be the big key in this chest now. Only one item, so the rest of the items plus the compass is in the back.
Okay, we may be able to find out if the cape is going to be of any use. Maybe do Graveyard Ledge while we're up here?
Maybe. Could also mirror and do King's Tomb.
Oh, not wrong.
Right.
$20, yeah.
Yeah, so thankfully the cape's not required for anything, but it's still invincibility. I can't have its uses.
Pretty much everything getting in poor Arcadia's way here. Just bonking.
Yeah. The landmine skulls are kind of annoying.
True.
Alright. First look at King's Tomb here. Only a little bit of money.
Seems to be a theme.
Third bottle with a fairy in it. Nice to have.
And with the mirror, you don't have to worry about death warping, so you can hang on to that fairy in case the fight goes south.
And a lot of fights can go south in this game.
Oh, it's
And
a
also-
theme. Sorry.
Now, with the 20 rupees there, we can also see potentially a kern jump here from Cade to go to Catfish and then mirror to do Zora.
Good. But with Thieves Den being your other 5-6 and being able to route south from there, that would destroy your route for a while.
Shady Horse is going to check the big chest first. Finds the compass. Lusher from C-shaped house.
Why, game? Oh my gosh, at least you got your flute. No powder, though. No Samaria. Do you wait and do that with Samaria to be able to pick powder and then turn it in that? Or do you just, I don't know, maybe you turn in Mushroom and save Scum it? Or just turn it in and keep it?
I think the correct play here is if you're going to go up anywhere in that northeastern quadrant of Hyrule, you route in all the checks there. So mushroom, catfish, fish, waterfall area, Zora. Just try to get them all done at once if you can.
And Katie, I think, just kind of told us, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do.
Alright, just gonna check it aggressively here. What a reason blind, piece of heart from the mushroom.
And meanwhile, Shady Forest does get their second crystal here at about 29 minutes.
Oh, instead of the portal here. That's actually well thought of, because now you go back and do Thieves Town. Okay. Minor detour.
So Shady's route supports your route a little bit better with the being able to get across over to catfish and things, I guess, because he'll have the mushroom. And he'll also be able to do catfish, run south, do pod. Then maybe at that point you save and quit, do Pyramid Fairy. That's tough.
Yeah, but the only issue is the waterfall cave. He can set up the water walk from Skull Woods, but keeping it for that long might be tricky.
I don't think you can keep water walk through everything you need to do east, if I remember right.
So maybe best to isolate the waterfall checks until later.
Yeah, one way or the other, I think you're isolating something. If you're trying to stay close to logic, you just go do Pyramid Fairy pod area. But yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. I would say the line of logic here would be Graveyard Ledge, King's Doom, Current Jump for check Mushroom, check Catfish, check Zora. Ledge and pay Zora. And then later, before you go to Ice, you do the fake flipper setup to go check Hobo, do the Waterfall Cave, and then head back to do Ice Palace. That's probably the best way to route that. Just do it in 2 trips. That does isolate the pyramid, though, but they can check that on the way to, like, Pod or something. Or when they do the Super Bomb check here in a little bit.
Yeah, kind of routing at this point is a little tough. I think I like Heidi's opportunity the best, with being able to go do all the way up to Hype Cave and then go ahead and take care of Pyramid Fairy, since that could be your mitts.
The routing here is just complicated in all ways, shape, and form. They can't do Smith Chain at least, so they don't have to worry about that.
Well, the way Coyote has done it is he's pretty much cleared up the north section of Dark World already. Skullwoods, King's Tomb, Graveyard Ledge. So Coyote pretty much just goes south and continues the route. Dig Game, Stumpy, Hype Cave, Pyramid Fairy into Pod. And then maybe Catfish afterward. And then you mirror, you do Zora.
Yeah, this is just a very awkward situation here, trying to work around the fact you're supposed to get flippers at some point. We don't even know where it's supposed to be logically in the seed. We have to wait for that lamp to show up.
It's in front of TR, of course. We just gotta find everything else. We'll never get the lamp. We got the fire card. It's fine. Beautiful fight though from Shady Forest with Modula. Took him down nice and fast there.
So we need, in terms of our go mode, we need to find our Titan's Meds, which will give us our hook shot and the Cadence of Marvia. Of course, this is assuming that the one medallion we need is quick.
Or if it's not, the other medallion we need is in the minor area like it usually is.
Yeah, we're also making the assumption that the flippers are not locking something, which they could very well be. We don't know, and we won't know.
Okay, Shady going for pod.
This makes some sense. It is pretty much an isolated dungeon right now. And it is 5 items as well.
It's true, good chance of Mitz just being hanging out in the front of pod. Alright, so for the moment, they are tied up on 3 crystals apiece. Shady Force is going into crystal number 4. And then Tower of Hera is readily available now with that Fire Rod, so it'll be interesting to see if progression just lies there.
Yeah, this can go any number of ways right now.
Now, if Mitz were in Hera, it would be a forced basement at this point.
It would be.
But I think Kite is going to give us some more answers here pretty quick with Pyramid Fairy and Pyramid. And then probably joining Shady in Pod. So strictly speaking, Shady is doing the more appropriate thing right now. Doing the dungeons, getting stuff done. Kite is being extra thorough, so if they do end up finding something in some location that Shady Force skips for a while, then huge advantage there.
Yeah, now, Cade can do something else here. Going to doing Pyramid Fairy, checking Pyramid, and then going up to Catfish, and then mirroring to do Zora. And then afterwards, leaving the Zora area, polluting to 5, or save warping, and then going back to the dungeon. That just cleans up the most of the overworld as you can in one trip.
It's true, and with your bow, you could splash delete to Pyramid Fairies, or Waterfall Fairy is what I'm trying to say as well.
Silver arrows inside Alice of Darkness. Good find there.
A bow and pot, how quaint.
A bow with boat locked in pod, no less. That had to be our silvers.
Okay, just bombs lying out in the pyramid here. Let's see, what's it? Pyramid Fairy.
The lamp.
Our logic is here, that's it. Alright, so Shady Force is not missing much there.
That does mean we're logically expected to be in Dark World, at least for our flippers, so...
So that's officially our Aga access, that's our flipper access. That is the front of Swamp access.
Yeah, and there's a good 7 chests in the front. On a rough count.
No, yeah, technically Eastern did have a lamp-locked, a bottle I think it was, but that's it. That was a Big Key chest. Otherwise, Big Key was pre-Big Chest, and your Fire was just at Saw's Closet, so Eastern was logically beatable with no lamp. So that is technically Fire Like Fire.
Didn't think about it that way. Good catch.
Thank you. And good Helmasaur King fight from Shady Force. Going straight to Helma with that Big Key placement, so it still has the entirety of the back of pod open.
Yeah, but this play makes sense because we can just use the mirror to get out of it. It's going to be interesting to see where the last little bit of progression is, though.
So Shady Force never technically needs to go to Pyramid. The issue is that Heidi could follow the flippers after, say, going and checking the Zora area. And meanwhile, Shady will be like, I think Lamp's got to be out there somewhere, but okay, we'll just go straight for Aga. We got a fire rod, it's fine. And then just could go for Aga as well.
Yeah, both runners know that that is logically required for ice, but as we've been saying, Cade knows where it is in logic, but Shady Force does not. And it could just still be a wild goose chase all the same.
Well, Shady probably has a good idea where the lamp is at this point, but it's kind of irrelevant, I guess, when you got the fire rod, because you could, at this point, really just beat Pod, go do your catfish and Zora check, and just be like, whatever, I'm going to bet that Mitts are just sitting in the front of Swamp and just go straight for Aga. And I think, at this point, I don't do any more than, say, Agina before doing Aga. I pretty much do Pod, do the rest of flipper checks that you can, out of logic, whatever, and then you do again and maybe go for those flippers for assume your mitts are in the front of Swamp. Yeah, I guess that is a good point from chat, of course. There are 2 items in the tower up here readily available.
Alright, nice air jump.
Yeah, I guess Hera does make sense before Aga. It is 1 extra trip up Death Mountain, but it's not horrible.
Shady Horse counting his items and then noping out.
I don't know, if I'm like Coyote at this point, I almost feel a little bit bad with all this routing, and you're like, all I got was a lamp out of it. And if I'm in Coyote shoes, I almost do just ignore here and just go straight for Swamp and just gamble. But at the same time, Hera's not horrible to do the basement with.
Well, Shady Horse is about to get that lamp knowledge. And Katie is meanwhile heading to Helmsley King. I believe they figured out that everything else is either keys or the dungeon items at this point.
So Shady is going to have best position to just go straight to Catfish at this point, but Katie won't be too far behind, I think.
Yeah, there's got to be something in the Zora region here. Right, and there's Shady Force now knowing where the lamp is, so knows that Lagadum is now in logic. And looks to be continuing northward.
And to answer a question in chat, no, Hookshot is Mitts lock. We do not have Mitts yet.
Yeah, specifically Hookshot is on Floating Island.
Just sitting there saying hi, what's up? If we were playing HMG, that Hookshot would be gotten by now, but not so much right now. Okay, is Grumpy Fish our answer?
And it is 3 bombs. Gotta say no to him.
Okay, we're gonna, yeah, we're going to Splash Elite. We're gonna reset our Ancilla, whatever the heck it is. Doing this with silvers are difficult. Easier to do Splash Elite if you switch to regular arrows.
Just gonna ignore it for now.
Oh, did Fast Run change that for silvers? I didn't know that. Yeah, that looked like arrows on Zora Ledge. Meanwhile, Heidi does pick up Crystal at number 4 to match Shady Force. Ooh, Katie gonna skip. Catfish gonna go for, just going for flipper check. So we're gonna check Ice Rod Cave, which has not been checked by either runner, and then we're gonna get a water walk. And
this is
Zora,
actually really good for Kate, because that way they'll get the waterfall fairy checks.
That's true. Could simply be logically getting flippers to go to Waterfall Fairy for your mitts. Could be that simple.
Or it could just be getting a medallion or the Canis Maria.
Not wrong. It's not a bad check. Thankfully, Shady has that option at any point. Ice Rod Cave was nothing, so we're going to Hira. That is unchecked. We were locked out very quickly.
Alright, like Hylia Island at least doesn't have anything of importance.
But we're going to go say hi to George. He's just hanging out under the bridge. Evil. George, why? I trusted you.
Interesting that there was a safe warp happening there from Cade.
Okay, so apparently Katie choosing not to do Waterfall Fairy. No, we are going to do Waterfall Fairy.
Ah, just doing the fake flipper from over here. Okay. There is a way to set up a fake flipper from the hobo, but it is somewhat precise. I think you have to touch the pillar, just tap slightly downwards, and then run up to the right, and then you have just enough distance to make it. Heart piece, and a tempered sword.
No, not progression, but we're not going to turn that down. Gonna be hardly disappointed with the flipper checks, though, here.
But now we know that if the flippers are required, it is logically for ice spells, and potentially because Swamp has an item. Overworld has nothing.
Okay, Shady about to give us some answers we've been looking for. Our mitts just hanging out from Firelocked in Hero.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh my gosh. That's a double fall.
Oh?
Oh, is Katie doing what I'm thinking they're doing?
Katie is going to go all in here and thinks those slivers are in fact required. So this is going to be an early swamp dip coming up here from Cade after we climb back in the tower.
Okay, if mitts are just lying in Tower of Fear, that is very bad for Katie. Otherwise, if Katie is doing the right thing, getting flippers, going to Swamp... Oh, he does it again, Shady.
Now, Kate is playing the odds here. Swamp is the most item-dense dungeon with 6 items. We are still missing Titan's Mitts, Canis Samaria, potentially another medallion. So there's 4 items out there. Book even is 5 to allow us access to Desert. Which, while that's a pendant, could still have something in it. So, overall, this is not a bad play. The question is it the right play? And we won't know that for a while.
Well, I think Shady is coming to probably Aga just after this. Just plain and simple. There's a big 20, one of the 2 items for Shady Force. So I don't think Katie is going to be too far ahead here if this is the answer. The difference is that Kaidi is potentially just going to be able to, unless there's something in the big chest, Kaidi's just going to skip the basement. Okay, it's a big 20, so Kaidi can skip the basement if they want, but will they take that chance? Assuming that mitts are just the answer with the flippers.
Well, you can just completely ignore Tower Hero and being go mode. We know that they're both 20 rupees, but Kaidi, of course, does not know that. Alright, here we go with the Moldorm fight. Very nice and tame Moldorm. So there's a game we like to play here where we try to guess how many blue shots Aghanim's gonna fire. 15 is the absolute maximum, pending no misses.
And 0 is the minimum. 0 to 15 shot, what are you guessing? Be quick.
I'm gonna say 3.
Like 3 to 4 is average.
Yeah, and while we are watching this Aghanim fight, I do want to remind us that Bolas Azules, I believe, is hosting a Spanish restream as well for our Spanish-speaking audience.
Also, take this opportunity to remind everybody, don't forget to give these two runners a follow. They're putting on a great show for everybody, putting their time on the line for our entertainment here and for a great league here. Oh, not there. While you're at it, though, give my Coke on Wolflink a follow, as well as our Cracker and amazing person, General Drossi. Links are also in chat.
Alright, got a few blue balls here. I haven't been keeping count. Shady Force, meanwhile, is heading to 3. Wait a minute. I don't think Katie has a choice, now that I think about it. This is an Aghanim seed. I didn't realize this. I think there's nothing left we can do about Mitz, Samaria, Book.
Well, without Katie, well, Katie technically has Tower of Fear, but as a commentator, yes, we are out of checks.
So yeah, this is a Force Aghanim seed. There's something in Swamp. Oh, wait. Agina has not been checked. Someone's writing...
Oh,
good
yeah.
call.
Look up the two runners things.
Yeah. Shady Force is checking the North Darkhold now. But we've already seen that. So Kate is actually making the right call here, which is amazing.
I'm sorry, Drossi, I was not paying attention. I was shouting at our runners and our crew.
I also was not paying attention, but there we go. There are the flippers now for Cade. We'll see if they are, in fact, the solution here, which, given what we're missing, it's more than likely. I think the only way they are not required is if it's specifically Mitz and Agina, and everything that's Mitz locked has everything else we're missing. So, Cade is playing the odds here.
So Kaide's routing from earlier is paying off now. Being so thorough just leaves so few things to think about that you're right. Eventually you're just like, you know what, let's just go get flippers. Let's ignore Gina.
Now... Oh... Okay. There's something here that I just thought of. What are the Titan... Oh, the Titans that can't be an Ice Bounce.
No, they
I
cannot.
completely forgot about that. So yeah, this is the only play besides Agina.
Okay, Kaide gonna give us our answers here in Ice Palace. This is also a great play for Bolas Azules because they are at 1 win so far. Just to give them a second win if they can manage to pull this off, and it's a good call, I think, going into Swamp Palace.
Yes. Now, something to mention here, folks, is of course, this is only the first race between these two. The second race is going to be following this one here on Speed Gaming. So, if you're watching live, make sure to stay tuned.
And in general, follow the Speed Gaming channel, Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 6. Lots of league races going on, the ALTTPR league channels as well. If you like these league races, they're going to be happening for quite a while.
Oh, here's the Hail Mary. This is Agina. Is the Aghanim dodge going to happen here for Shady Force, or is it forced?
No hook shot for Specky Clip.
Oh, it is forced. That's the Cane of Samaria, but that does not unlock anything.
Okay,
It's still a good find.
Yes, Coyote does need to check that. Oh my gosh.
That was progression, but it wasn't the progression that uncorks the Aghanim lock.
Where's Shady going at this point? Oh, he's going to George.
Yeah, he's absolutely last against the Aghanim here. Which, to his credit, he wants to avoid this as much as possible. I don't blame him. No one likes doing a forced Aga, but this is a forced Aga. And I hope he has it right about now.
So, Coyote is still in pretty good shape. They're going to get that flute likely somewhere because, like, the only thing Coyote could have trouble with is if the Mids just unlocks a bunch of stuff, and he needs they need the flute to show up at some point because the flute gives him an excuse to go ahead and go to my area, me, or check Agina. Otherwise, Agina's still a little orphaned.
Did you forget they found the flute in Kakariko Village there, Lana?
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I forgot. Flute was early.
Yeah, flute was very early.
We found that. That was in. Oh, right. That was in Blindside or something, I think.
Yeah, it was Blind's hideout.
It feels like so long ago.
It really has. Alright, let's say swamp. Gonna have to do double dip here.
Okay, we fully expect the Mitts to come up in the next track for Katie Rokala.
Yeah, this has to be Mitts, actually.
Mitts gives you...
Oh, wait, it could actually be something else in this.
It could be book. Could be book. Could be powder.
Book would actually be really good for Cade because that'll allow them to route in Agina.
And not wrong.
It's Science Mitts, there it is.
As predicted reasonably early, thank you very much. Mitts in left side swamp, so this is kind of good, kind of bad for Coyote because those the Samaria is readily available. Ice Palace is going to be readily available. Oh my gosh! So routing wise, it's still not great.
I like this play though. Gonna go get the hook shot, do the Super Bunny checks, and then potentially flute to 6 to check the medallion. Make sure or you're not looking for that Samaria. I wonder if they'll route in Agina. I hope so when they go to Maya region.
Problem is that you don't have Samaria, so your brain could be telling you right now Samaria just could be a nice palace or something like that. Like Samaria, Agina in general, could be a late route for Coyote at this point, and Shady Force is getting these flippers and going directly to the swamp. So,
I'm honestly inclined to disagree, and the main reason I say that is Cade might go there early to check the medallion requirement. So that they know, oh, they're only looking for one item over 2. And while they're there, they'll check their shed, the checkerboard, and Agina's cave.
We shall see.
But yeah, absolutely getting the hook shot here. No surprise. And someone's bringing a good point here. Pedestal could be Ether.
Not wrong. Pet is still not dead.
And the hook shot here we have a heart piece to start things off. a bunch of bombs. And our final bottle. So not much up here on the mountain.
So unless we're mistaken, for Kaidi, theoretically, Samaria could be go mode.
Could be. Shovel. And $50. So we know bombos are required for Turtle Rock. Very likely chance we need bombos for both dungeons, or it could just be ether for Misery Mire. But I think, yeah, it's gonna be a Spike Cave check, and then potentially Mirror to do Hera. Oh, Mirror first for Hera.
So Kaidi gets the option of just skipping the basement. It's gonna skip one item. Really good for Kaidi if they decide to go and just leave the second item in there.
I'm not sure. But something I just realized here. If Maya requires Quake, Shady is just gonna beeline check that.
Yeah, like I said, Shady's got that Samaria, and Agina's Cave is a little bit isolated right now. I mean, you've got Ice Palace available to you. And basically, by the time Kaidi would finish up Ice Palace, Shady would be checking Mire area. And potentially just be in go mode. So I'm thinking Kaidi is on the clock at this point. They need to route in Mire area and check Agina very soon.
Yeah. I still some the suspicion that Kaidi will check it just to get the Mire medallion information, and just by happenstance find the Samaria. Of course, this is assuming that Mire is not Quake. If it is Quake, then that's a problem. But if it's like Bombos or something, we still have to find that too. Which could be an advantage for Cade. Because she has already done the entirety of Swamp, or the entire front of Swamp Palace, and has already started doing Timesmith checks.
Yeah, they're both in good spots, but like if Kaide goes to Mire area and, like you said, checks Agina, he's still in pretty good shape. But until then, Shady will have his mitts in about 3 minutes. And as you said, Mire will be an immediate check.
Yeah, Mire will be an immediate check. Still has to get the hook shot, but he can do that when he goes to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah. But the thing is that you don't... Yeah, exactly. You don't need hookshot for Mire, so you could just go right there, do that, do ice. Oh, what are you doing, Kaidi?
Kaidi I don't think has done Catfish. This will be a Catfish to Mirror to Flute to 6, I would hope.
I hope so, because if you're fluting to 8, you're full clearing Ice Palace. And if you're fluting to 6, you are finding out you're getting in your go mode pretty quick. Hopefully checking Agina before going into Mire.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for.
I hope for the best for these two runners, but Shady is on the most aggressively, just straightforward path, and Kaidi has options, unfortunately, at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of the catch-22 of Randomizer sometimes. But there's the bombs. Got a mirror. This is probably going to be a flute. It is a flute. Flute to 2 to get potions. Well, 2 blue potions tells me a lot of Ice Palace. Oh, but no, it's a check for Mire. This might be the saving grace here.
And so nobody forget, this is game 1 of 2. Coming up next, 5:10 p.m. Eastern, we have Dr. Marty and Mac.
Oh, my. It's
Is it?
Ether.
Oh, lordy. We have Dr. Marty and Madcap facing off, same two teams, with Homemade Beer and Magno handling the commentary and Shasta doing the tracking on that one. So stay tuned, SG.
It is the one item that can be on pedestal right now. The Ether Medallion.
And he's not doing Nagina. Oh,
No. Checking the Desert Ledge first.
This race is not over yet, everybody.
Yeah, gotta check Desert first. Yeah, this is a full clear of this entire region. They're just going clockwise.
Okay, these two runners are in just about the same spot, but it is imperative Kaidi does check Agina at this point. That's one of two items out of Desert, but Green Pendant does mean an additional turn-in.
I'm not sure you do Green Pendant here.
Oh, you do not, no. Not immediately. I mean, Ether could be in the back of Swamp at this point.
Big key over there.
I'd be more surprised to see Kaidi do it than I would to see Shady Forest avoid it. Because Kaidi has other options and doesn't have Samaria. Meanwhile, Shady Forest has Samaria, but a few other options.
Alright, second item is in fact on Bolas. This is looking to be a checkerboard check. Yeah, checkerboard to Agina. This is the right play. Place 3 rubies there. Gonna grab it, because Cade does not have any more money.
Okay, Kaidi does need to check again at this point. And
Yeah, it's happening. Okay.
He's gonna do it. Okay.
So
Sweet.
it's somewhat even footing now.
Ice Palace is the next play.
Yeah,
And-
it has to be.
And then you do back of Swamp. And then, in fact, you do all of Swamp if you need to. Then you finish off Desert.
Now, here's another thing. If we find Bombos, do you rush Ped this to be a Ped seed?
You rush TR, you don't rush Pet, I think. So if you go to the back of Swamp, for instance, and you find nothing except Bombos, you do go to TR. But this is all after Ice Palace, or after you clear ice.
Yeah. It's either Bombos or Ether here in Ice Palace. I think there's nothing that can be here otherwise.
Well, back of Swamp is still options, so the Ice Palace could be empty.
Could be. Alright, here we go. Shady Force is going to be making a play here.
Okay, we are back to even footing, everybody.
Yep, it's anyone's race here.
I mean, it could come down to you finding an item early in ice and just go moding the rest and the other person checking two things. I mean, you don't do it at this point. You're one item from go mode, but oh, that's hard. And Ice Palace is fairly easy to route.
Another big key, and we got an early small key, so should not get key lock here. And actually, ooh, wait a minute, this might be a small development.
Yes.
Shady doesn't have the hook shot.
True, but with the layout of these items, you're not going to worry about an ice. I mean, the ice may or may not be hookshot locked, but you don't care. You're not going to route it in that way.
True. Might be inconvenient for him though.
Maybe he's routing it with the switch hit though, so should be okay. Especially with the big key coming up, you get another small key underneath the rock, so should be okay.
There's Ether. That's go mode.
Okay, we are go mode 109.35 for Kaidi Rukawa. And Kaidi is continuing into Ice Palace. Why?
The switch doesn't get flipped. Needs an extra key.
No, he had a key. Oh, maybe for magic.
You need two doors. You need two small keys, I believe.
You just needed the one for the big key, for this door here. The big key door doesn't require anything.
Right. Yeah, so... Oh, there is magic in that other room. Yeah, that's what the key is for. Gonna get magic out in this room.
This will come down to GT routing, but we'll see how execution and big key location in Mire goes.
Does have the potions, but probably wants to save them. Which is honestly not a bad call. He's, with the money situation that Kate has, really cannot afford to restock on potions as readily as...
Good NMG fight from Kaidi Rukawa against Cold Stare. Well done.
And another heart container. Alright. Onward to Misery Mire.
Okay, Shady Force. And getting go mode at 1:11:09.
So this is going to depend a lot on routing. Cade from losing that rock from below, setting up the spooky action glitch.
Well, Shady may have to get the hook shot, but Kaidi still has to beat Tower of Hero, so that's going to be a push.
No, Cady's already beat Tower Hero.
Oh, never mind, they did. I forgot they went in. Never mind. It's such a quick dungeon when you're basically go moding it and you leave the second item. Very forgettable.
Very nice corralling there from Shady Force.
Good fight from both runners and Cold Stare. Cold Stare can get out of hand really fast. Okay, what kind of big key are we dealing with in Misery Mire? Are we going to get a God Mire? Are we going to get a buried key, vanilla maybe?
Well, vanilla big key, it's kind of annoying, but it's not that bad on the return trick because you have the portal.
Not wrong. Just annoying to have to wait for that darn cutscene.
Alright, and both runners into Mire. Alright, now to Godmire.
Are we going to get the bird toss here? Shady Force?
No.
Sign.
I don't blame him, honestly. We are approaching the 75-minute mark on a casual boot seed. The finish time could happen any minute now. You can't afford to waste time on that. And that's actually a good call on Shady Force's part, because he is currently behind. He just doesn't even know it yet.
Who doesn't last locate left side swap in this case? I think if... Okay, there's that big key, but, like, this seed, you're facing one person, and you're... I just do not think that my opponent would have gone, oh my gosh, let's go to Agate. Now they're both last locationing if I'm either of these two. But you never know. Somebody could pull off a gamble, and if that's the case, then they're probably climbing GT.
And actually, now that we think about it, Cade would have the Ether Medallion in Ice Palace, which would have led them to check the Maya region almost immediately with 2 medallions. So I don't think the Canis and Maria difference mattered too much anymore.
Yeah, Icebreaker was the main thing, I think. I mean, you had to go to right side Ice Palace to get that vanilla big key to get the ether from the big chest, so routing-wise, like, Hookshot didn't really help Ice, I guess, but I guess the biggest difference is Samaria.
Yeah. 7 Reserve, Blue Mail, 13 Hearts, Silver Arrows. Pretty well equipped here for any sort of combat that needs to come through the rest of the seed.
Well, you know what, Wolflink? I think it's about time to play a game. What do you think?
Yes, and then there's, of course, a game we like to play here on the Link to Past Randomizer as we collect the 7th and final crystal. We have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, one of which can only have the big key in it. Give us the number in chat, or if you're playing live on Twitch, try to predict with channel points, and guess where the big key will be today. Anna, where do you think it's going to be?
I'm going to go with 8. How about you?
I'm actually going to go with 14.
Good choice.
This has been kind of a average seed, so that should put it right around the drop down above the Armos Knights, the Ice Armos fight.
Sounds right.
Like, the seed feels like it doesn't want to be too trolly, but at the same time, it doesn't want to be too slow either. That's just the vibe I've been getting.
Who says there could only be one winner, chat? Choose whichever number your heart desires, and we will try our best to credit you.
That's right, and if there's a route deviation, we will only be going off Cade's checks for the count.
And that's crystal number 7 for Shady Force as well. While we're doing this, let's go ahead and take one last opportunity to remind everybody, don't forget to give these runners a follow. Links are in chat. They're putting on a great show for us. And while you're at it, Wolflink and Drossie's links are both in chat as well. Give them a follow as well. They're doing a great job. And Drossie's doing the hard work today with the tracking.
Yeah, Drossie's doing a lot of work today. In fact, I think he's on one of our later matches here on SpeedGaming for commentary. So look forward to that a little bit later.
That's true. He's got the 10 p.m. Eastern race. Bluff around and find out bottles race on SpeedGaming, this very channel.
Yeah, we'll be part of the doubleheader, which will be following this race. Alright, Hope Room start here for Cade. First chest, small key. Second chest, 20 rupees. Almost. Blessed with the Hope Room care package. Heading right immediately.
Trying to conserve a little bit of magic, understandable.
So, a little tie that can happen here if Shady Force finds it on Stalfos Room. 3 bombs, 50 rupees, 10 arrows, and chest number 6, the gold sword.
Not required, but never going to turn it down.
But Shady Force is actually making a detour to get the hook shot. So, this is going to cost him a bit of time. On the torch, number 7, small key. And goodbye, Bob. Who's Bob? Don't worry about it. Random flute talk.
Flute the flute!
Alright. 8, 9, 10, 11 here in Stalfos Room. Compass. Small key. 20 rupees. And there it is, the big key.
Okay, so Shady first goes towards Stalfo's room first. This is going to be a tight climb.
And it's a hope room start as well for Shady Force, so no real time getting there unless it's a hope room first and then left side. Veers out immediately. Nope, Kane gonna go right.
Unfortunate, but it's a valid move. It's understandable.
Yeah, nothing wrong here about the seed. And Shady Force is keeping it close despite the fact that he last location Naga.
And we never shouted out the winners of the Big Key Guessing Game. What number was that, by the way?
I believe it was number 11, if my count was correct.
That is Legendary Moon with the first guess of 11. Let's see if anyone else got it too. No other 11s. We've got Legendary Moon with the solo win today. GG's to you.
Indeed. Alright, gauntlet time. Switching arrow types. Clean ice room there. And yeah, with both runners on gold sword and silver arrows, this is going to be an absolute joke of a game fight. Ooh, minor time loss here on Cade's side, missing the shot against the Bolas.
And Shady's got what he needs to climb. We are not wasting any more time.
Yep, about half of the tower climbed already.
So
that's about
90 seconds, 2 minutes-ish, maybe.
About 2 minutes, yeah, I'd say. And our runners apparently had both Castlevania in the mind, as I believe we are now listening to Cade's soundtrack here.
There'll be a little bit of a gap in the races after this, but again, reminder, we do have the same two teams duking it out coming up 2:10 Pacific, 5:10 Eastern on this very channel. So stay tuned after this race. There's more racing to come.
That's right. This is only game one of a doubleheader between the Spoilers and Bolas Azules. Boulder 2 not playing nice here.
Fortunately, Butter has a little something to say about that. Saying heck no with Moldorm 2 chest.
Makes sense. You've already got everything you need. Like, the only thing you would find that would be even remotely helpful is half magic.
Oh, Shady having some issues with Landmo 2.
Yep, getting away from him.
A bit of a 3 cycle, I think.
Alright, Aghanim 2 fight.
AKA
That might have been a single.
The geometry fight, I think people call it. Or agonometry.
That's another single. Wow. And a double there at the last set. Alright, Aghanim 2 is down. That is the goal met. So now Kata will go and fight Ganon. With Gold Sword in hand, it'll just be 6 slashes to get through the first 2 phases. Spins do the same damage on Gold Sword. And then afterwards, it'll be 4 more hits in phase 3 where he starts breaking the floor. And then the darkness technique, get the torches lit, slash to stun, 4 silver arrows, easy fight. Doing dash boost, which does the same amount of damage.
Oh, Shady takes a fall. Oh, man.
Still a very close race here. Because that is actually a pitfall there, or that will reset the fight if Kay's not careful.
Ganon has a weakness. What is this shenanigans?
And good Kitleen fight here. That is going to be GG for Arcade.
Everybody, you know the drill. Get your GGs in chat for Katie Rikawa finishing in first place, assuming this bridge is, you know, crossable.
And there we go. Cade finishing and being the winner of this race with a time of 1:24.58.
The Saga fight, maybe 2.5 minutes behind Shady Force coming up with that fight as well.
And Shady Force taking a moment here. Sees the dot done as given GG's to his opponent in the race time chat. Alright, it's Shady Force's turn to fight Ganon. And it's the same teleport here for fairness. So it should be pretty straightforward here for the up until the end of this race.
Ganon's teleport's pretty nice and friendly compared with Aga's placements of Aga 2 fight.
Force missing the recatch there, but gets a triple to make up for it. Well done.
Y'all know the drill again. Get your GGs in chat for Shady Force as well.
And GG's once again to Shady Force crossing the finish line with 127.09. Not a close, not a landslide fight in the slightest here. This was a really close race. It could have come down to a Ganon ball.
Left side swamp was disgusting. Oh my gosh.
It was. Let's not deny that. Aghanim seeds are generally very, very bad sometimes.
All right, we'll see if anybody comes in for a quick interview. There is another restream of these runners as well. Looks like we're going to get Kaidi Rikawa in here. And yes, Kaidi Rikawa, GG's to you. Welcome into the booth here. GG's.
Thank you. Hello. Hello, everyone.
So, this ended up being an Aghanim seed here. And you made the play with a few other checks left on the table. Did you just happen to know that it was an Aghanim seed at that point?
When I was going to the pot entrance, I was thinking about the play of Aga plus Flippers for Swan Palace. So, I don't know. I just decided to... It was like a 50-50. I mean, I had like 2 or 3 overworld checks. I don't remember. I had Catfish and...
Catfish
and
Agina,
what
I
else?
think.
Agina. Yeah. And Hera. Spike Cave. So, I don't know. I just went for that. I knew it was a really bad play, so I wasn't going before doing all the stuff like pot or Thievestown Schoolwoods because crystals. And yeah, it worked out. I was losing hope while I was doing left side swamp. I opened the first chest and I was like, okay, I may lose here. There's only one check left and there was a miss.
Y'all, we're pretty close at that point. Your overworld routing, leaving you with few things before swamp, I think did it for you.
Yes, indeed. Real quick though, folks, for those watching on the restream side, Shady Force Games is here in the Twitch chat and just said that they will not be interviewed, but GG's doing all the same. Finding the Canis of Mario first, which actually gave us a little bit of worry depending on where that medallion was for Misery Meyer. That turned out to be in Ice Palace.
Yeah. I got kinda lucky with that because of going to check the Meyer medallion and the checks around plus desert. So at least that's something. But I had to do the Dark Mountain because of Hera, so that was also a time loss there.
Yeah. And you both, of course, did a full clear of the Maya region, finding what you needed to find there. Or you were still looking for Ether at the time. You were, of course, also looking for Canis and Mario. Got particularly lucky there. Interesting enough, we had both the rods early, and we never had to touch Turtle Rock. I don't even know where that Bombos is.
It may be in Swamp.
Might be.
Or the back of GT, or who knows.
Yeah. But there even a difference, though, with an Aghanim Seed. With Shady Force basically putting up Aghanim as the very last check. All in all, this could have gone completely differently. Like, a Ganon Bull could have realistically decided this if you had done that, Cade. Like, this was a really close race. Neither of you should feel bad for it, honestly.
Yeah, it was a really bad play to do, so that's completely reasonable by his side. Doing last location Aga for flippers. So it was really hard to god route this, I guess.
Yeah, especially with all the flippers checks there. That was actually really tricky to route based around the time you guys were in the Skullwoods Thieves Town region.
I mean, it will have been easier if Sun Palace was crystal instead of pendant, but yeah, it wasn't for this set.
Well, with this win, your team is now 2-1, and both your teams are now 2-1 here. So, roughly even footing here going into the second game here between your teams, which is coming up next here on Speed Gaming. Are you looking forward to seeing how your teammates perform?
Oh, I didn't know Madcap was playing right now. After this one, okay.
Yes, in fact, they are going to be next right here on this channel, Speed Gaming.
Okay. I hope he stays cool and plays well. So we'll see. I have faith on my partners. Anyways, thank you for the stream and the tracking, by the way, as always.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to play on Restream, and yeah, good luck for both runners for this next race, especially to Madcap.
Yeah.
Well, GG's to both you, Kaidi, and to Shady Force. You put on a great show. Thank you so much.
Yes. Make sure to follow our two runners here in chat. They put an excellent race for tonight. Of course, don't forget to follow Speedgame 236 to give us any racing action, not just the Elite Fast Randomizer League. And speaking of which, more races on the league. Like we've been saying, the next race between the Spoilers and Bolas Azules is next here on Speed Gaming here. And of course, we have some other matches for you later tonight as well. Let me get the schedule up real quick. All right, so here we go. We have coming out here at 5:10, of course, the Spoilers versus Bolas Azules here on Speed Gaming. Coming at, wow, there's a lot of matches here on Speed Gaming. Afterwards, at 8 o'clock, we have Farm Friends, and we should hover all day. Windfox 470 versus Act the Boker happening at 8. And then on Speed Gaming, again, our tracker Drosy, he will be on the mic for Fluff Around and Find Out versus Bottles on Empty. That is Zeke versus Maniacal. And of course, we have another race happening on SpeedGaming 5 at around 9 o'clock. It is JK Lowell versus the Padrana Drifters. Radical Cyber 99 versus Jet on that one. And then we have 2 more matches happening at 10 and 11 respectively. On SpeedGaming 4, we have Beats from the East versus the Bomb Squad, Moogle Charm versus Adirondack Rick, and your mom's favorite random team versus Don't Forget to Track Us, Gamachu versus PRD Wong. So a lot of matches on the invitational side of things. Lana, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but do you happen to have the Open League schedule?
I do not off the top of my head here. I can try and pull them up here really quick, though. I've got the Invitational League up, and I kind of goofed. I should have had both up at the same time.
Don't worry, I'm in the same boat. I only have the Invitational up as well.
There's that. All right, Open League signups. Looks like we have 1 restream, 2 restreams for the rest of today. So 9-10 p.m. Eastern on the ALTTPR League. Looks like we have Majora's Masked Marauders versus Hyrule Pot Replacement Service. Spy versus Calvin 919. Looks like we may get another race between Ed Was Supposed to Carry Us and Risky and Terrible Gambits, and that's Mind the End versus BDI. There are 2 signed up for commentary and a tracker, but no channel assigned yet, so it could be that as well. But otherwise,
so restream to be determined.
To restream on that one to be determined. But otherwise, yeah, looks like mostly Open League, or I should say, Invitational League games on restream today.
Yes. Also, that Open League team, Opry Stalkers, that is hilarious. I will give them credit where it's due there. That is hilarious. Of course, folks, that's going to do it from us here. So once again, make sure to follow our 2 runners here. Make sure to follow Speaking of Speed and as well as the ALTTPR League and its subsidiary channels. Make sure to follow my co-commentator Lana Bean, who's been shouting me out a couple times across this. Make sure, of course, to follow our tracker Drosy, and you can drop me a follow as well. But from all of us here at A Link to Best Randomizer League, I have been Will playing 0 through 0. We just see you in a little bit, actually, for this second match between these 2. But thank you for watching all the same. Good night, everyone.
Take care, everybody. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. 2 other people doing some good stuff. Have fun, everybody.